Everyone, thanks so much for jumping into the video today as we're talking about Christmas planning. And today should be kind of a shorter video, and so we'll go ahead and jump right in. But last time we talked about what your Christmas service is going to look like and some of those different things about that. Today we want to talk about, all right, how can we get people to your Christmas services and really to this is good for services throughout the month of December, and a lot of this stuff is applicable to um, any time of the year as you want to do these things. And these things are helpful if we want to get people into our churches, which I think all of us want that to happen. And so the first thing that you could do, and I can't talk about this enough, emphasize this enough, talk about the importance of this enough from a guest perspective, somebody who's new to coming into the community, new to your church, they don't know these things, is it on your social media, on your Facebook page, on your website, and probably the Facebook page is the most important right now, though, is that you have your address and your service times easy to find. I've talked about this in the past, but I still see it coming up up over and over again as I myself go and look for service times for churches that maybe I want to go visit, um, things like that. And I can't I can't tell you how many times it's really hard to find. And so right now, as soon as you get done watching this video, I want you to go to your Facebook page and make sure either within that top cover heading photo, the big piece at the top of your Facebook page, either that needs to have your service times and your address on it, or it needs to be, it'll be kind of in the, I guess it's the left side, um, in the sort of the about section. You want to have, here's our service times, here's the address. You got to have that front and center. If people are thinking about coming and visiting your church, and that information is hard to find, they're going to move on to something else, or they're just not going to show up at any church, which is even worse. And so, I want to highly encourage you, can't say that enough. Make sure you have that information readily available. If you struggle with that, if that's not like something that you're like Facebook, like I don't know how to do that, let me know and maybe I can help and help create something for you. And I don't mind doing that. And so, but that's the first thing. Now, while we're talking about social media, also, again, this is throughout the entire year, but especially right now, is you want to have social media posts that are engaging. And what I mean by that is that Facebook rewards sort of posts that get people to stop and engage with it. So they either stop and share it, but the bigger thing is they stop and maybe they leave a comment and start a conversation with it. And so if whether you're doing Facebook posts or whether somebody else is doing it for you, just let them know, hey, as throughout this time period, we want to ask questions and we want to have content that engages people. And so sometimes it's simple things like, hey, what's the best Christmas gift you ever received? Um, you know, what's your favorite Christmas treat or whatever? Some things that are like they're just generic questions that will get people to respond. And you want to do those things so that when you do a post that's, hey, here's our service times, here's what we got going on for Christmas, um, they're more likely to see those things that we really want them to know, those sort of more advertisement, promotional, marketing type stuff that we send out there. They're going to more likely see that if they've engaged with something that's just sort of like a casual question. And so you need to have a good mix of both. Because all it is on your Facebook feed is from your church, it's sort of like marketing pieces. Come see us. We got this going on. People will ignore it. They'll scroll through it fast, and Facebook will eventually they'll stop even showing them your post because it's not something that they would normally engage with. And so those are a couple of things social media wise that we need to focus on, and focus on this. Just one other little tip on social media is show how and we'll talk about this more in a minute, but show how your church is serving the community. Have pictures of that uh, throughout the month of December because people want to be a part of a church that's making a difference in their communities. So that's another tip. The other thing is really consider and think about giving your people something that they can putting something in their hands that they can use to invite others to church. And so the easiest thing to do is maybe an invite card or a flyer or a postcard, something like that. Have those printed up. Again, have your service times, have your address put on those. Maybe if it's a special Christmas message that you're doing or Christmas series that you're doing, you have that graphic and everything on there, and it's something that's going to be catchy, that somebody it's going to draw their attention. Again, they're going to want to look at, they're going to want to hold on to, and you're giving your congregation, you're giving them a tool to make it a little bit easier to invite somebody to church. And also by having something that they can put in somebody's hand, it's not that that person has to remember like all the details about, oh, church starts at this time and these things that they're going to forget if they have something that they're good, a postcard or a business card or whatever, an invite card. If they put that in their hand, and then it has all the information right there, and hopefully they're going to put it on their kitchen table, they're going to put it on their counter, and it's going to be something that's going to remind them that it's coming up. And so again, it gives your congregation a tool that they can go out and practice some evangelism with. Um, it's also great for the person who's being invited because they have all the information right there. They don't have to go look it up, and also you can have your website, you can have your Facebook page even on that card too that can link to. That can be helpful as well. So a couple other things there. And then the last thing, we talked about this a little bit already, is that be involved in serving your community and being a part of things. A lot of times, there's a lot of opportunities like volunteer serving opportunities going on in the month of December, end of November, month of December, where we can get out and we can serve our community. Most communities, even small town spots, they have parades and Christmas parades and those type of things. A lot of times, those are at the beginning of December, even middle of December. And so your church can take part in those. Again, great place to hand out invite cards, or find a way to serve the community in some other way during that parade or during that community event. Um, and then take photos, throw those on your Facebook page, all those type of things to show people. But one of the biggest things is that it's a great invite opportunity as you get out and serve people, that you can invite them to be a part of the church. It's one thing that the church I attend that we've done almost basically every year. We find a way to do different things, and so sometimes we walk in the parade and we do a float. This year we're doing a float that's based on the movie The Polar Express. And then people who are going to be walking in the parade, they're going to be handing out golden tickets to kids along that parade route. And those golden tickets, again, they're going to say something like, "Hey, if you bring this golden ticket to back with you to church on Sunday, you're going to get a free little gift." And it's not nothing crazy, but for a kid who opens up like a Hot Wheels or a little Lego set or something like that, it'll entice them to drag their parents to church and be a part of that. At other times, and we may still be doing this year at different spots, but we hand out hot chocolate during the parade. A lot of times the parade is very cold, and so we just hand out free hot chocolate. And so if you're allowed to do that within your community, that can be a great thing to do. Sometimes we've had cups that have our service times and have our information about our church on it. Other times we just hand out the hot chocolate with an invite card. And we've seen some success from that. We've seen people come to church from that. Actually, at one of our locations, the one of the people who came to our church for the very first time, they were new to the area. We were a new church. We handed them a cup of hot chocolate, invited them to church. They started coming. They're still with us today, years later, and they're one of the most generous people to our church. And it all began from a cup of hot chocolate. And so you just never know, what something that seems small, what it can lead to, and how big of a difference that it can make. And so I want to encourage you. These are a few different kind of ideas as we're thinking about inviting people, strategy, trying to get them to make sure that they know when our service times are, they know where we are, and they know that we love our community and we're looking to serve our community. And so hopefully this will help you, give you some ideas. If you need anything else, if you need any help with any of it, feel free to shoot me an email, and I would love to talk about it. All right. Thanks. I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll talk again hopefully next week.